Hi luxurious queens, we are back today for my Hermes Lottery Leather Appointment story time. And of course, if you missed the video about how I scored the leather appointment, I will link it up here and down in the description section below, so you can head back to watch that. Well, thank you for joining me today, and my name is Lokie if you're new to my channel. I enjoy chit-chatting about Hermes and sharing my vintage, pre-loved and brand new Hermes finds. And I would love if you would subscribe to my channel and join my corner, because I definitely have lots of fun Paris related videos in the next few weeks yet to be uploaded. Well, long story short, I won the Hermes lottery after my first Hermes haul at the flagship store at Faubourg Saint Honoré, and today I will take you through to my Hermes leather appointment, my thoughts throughout the process, and of course some drama. Well, grab your cup of tea because it will be a long and juicy story. Well, in continuation from the last video, my leather appointment was confirmed that night via SMS and an email, and Missy here really haven't thought about what I was going to ask for, what to wear and how to ask. The only thing I settled was on my Hermes Uakua that I would bring as a handbag, as I wanted the leather essay to advise me regarding the bag restoration and spa process at the flagship store. The next morning, which is my appointment day, I settled on a turtleneck and jeans that I would wear to the appointment. Dream bag wise, as you guys have seen, I actually love colors and have a few colorful Hermes bags in my collection. I was hoping to perhaps build my neutral bag collection, but wasn't decided with a Kelly or Birkin, as both of them are just so gorgeous to me. I was tossing between being vague and broad with my options, or being really specific, as I didn't want to walk out of the appointment empty-handed. I was secretly hoping for colors like purples, orange, pinks and greens, which I didn't have in my collection. But another part of me also wanted neutrals, as they are easier to match in future. As a matter of fact, I also tried saying my wish list out loud, but honestly I sounded bipolar by wanting both colors and also wanting neutrals. I mean, Hermes makes so many beautiful shades in every color, I can't help but fall in love with so many of them. Anyhow, on the day of the appointment, Hermes sends me a text message via SMS, which reads, "We are expecting you today at Hermes FSH Boutique. Your appointment time may change. Please verify at this website." From my initial SMS, I knew my appointment time would be at 3:35 p.m. So I thought to myself, hey, it isn't that bad. Love that it was right smack in the middle of the day, and bags hopefully will still be in stock. The day started out very rainy, and thankfully we had nothing planned for that day except for our lunch and dinner bookings. So my husband and I decided to take things pretty slow and just chill up till we head out for lunch. Somehow I also received a text from the Cartier SA from our very first day, who had updated that he has managed to get the pieces I wanted from the Cartier headquarters. I mean, that was amazing because my Cartier boutique is right across the street from the Hermes Faubourg Saint Honoré. So I texted him back saying, sure thing, we will be there late afternoon, and my plan was to go after the Hermes appointment. Well, halfway through lunch, I decided to check on that SMS web link again, and somehow my appointment got pushed back 15 minutes. Well, no biggie, 15 minutes wasn't a big thing. I thought we could at least head there and see a few items first. However, on refreshing this link, it then got postponed another 30 minutes, then an hour later at 4:45. I was well prepared about this jump in appointment timing from the YouTube videos I watched, so I was mentally prepared. To me, it was not frustrating but annoying, as I can feel for some others who may have more errands to run or trains to catch, other appointments to go for. Anyway, we didn't want to do touristy things on this rainy day and tire ourselves out before the appointment. Well, I suggested we head over to Cartier first and at least spend our afternoon there, since the pieces were in store for me. So of course, if you have watched that Cartier video, it was such a pleasant experience. We had the privilege of the private lounge to ourselves and champagne to top up, which on hindsight was so useful to calm my nerves. I thought to myself, even if I didn't score a bag on the leather appointment, I would at least have all my Cartier goodies anyway. From where we sat in the private lounge past the day curtains, I could literally see Hermes from across the street, with lots of customers coming and going through their doors. In fact, I may have seen some celebrities and ladies dressed impeccably with orange or white paper bags coming out from the store. It was such a busy sight, I even commented to my husband that I felt my Birkin or Kelly walking out the store. On this Cartier visit, I also requested to see the Panther ring, which I really love after trying it on. However, as they did not have it in stock, the Cartier SA was willing to courier it immediately from the headquarters, in which he didn't quite give us a time frame, but we were more than happy and willing to wait. Although I wish I could teleport myself to the shop across and check out all the other departments at Hermes. Thankfully, I was quite lazy due to the rain and remained in the lounge. I continued to check on the SMS web link, and to my disappointment, the appointment kept getting delayed from 4:45 to 5:15 to 5:30, 5:45. By then, my excitement and hope to score a quarterback slowly faded as we continued waiting. Well, thankfully, my Cartier SA then popped back with the Panther ring in my size, and of course we chit-chatted about it. We even told him about scooting across later for our leather appointment, and he wished us luck. So after confirming our pieces, he surprised us with Cartier champagne to enjoy the rest of the day. By now, it was around 5:30 and our appointment got further delayed to 6:15 p.m. My husband commented that they would probably sell out of bags by then, and if I was sure I wanted to go for my appointment. Anyhow, I still wanted to rock up and have a go at the Hermes leather appointment even for the experience. When we stepped into Hermes, it was hectic busy, and by now I was already quite worn out by the waiting. To pass time, I decided to check out some ladies' belts which were upstairs. However, that department was empty and there was no SAs available. I hung around to try to find the piece I was looking for through the window display, but it seemed like it was out of stock. Well, there was security standing by, and it seems like the other SAs further up in the ready-to-wear and shoes department were all busy. I managed to catch a very busy looking SA with her iPad. She was really busy, and I felt so bad to stop her. I showed her my SMS confirmation, and on her work phone, she managed to find my name. As I was considered early for my appointment, she locked me in as present and asked if I wanted to look around first. Well, I requested to look at belts, and very shortly an SA turned up. She greeted us very warmly and asked if we wanted anything to drink. So we requested for coffee. We then proceeded to look into the ladies' belts, and she couldn't find the design I was after. In fact, I think it was out of stock or she's never seen it before. By now, it was soon approaching my appointment time, and I was getting very nervous. Well, I thanked her for her time, and we then proceeded back downstairs for the appointment. The boutique was hectic as ever, and everybody looked busy. Every sales assistant was busy with a customer, and I didn't want to intrude in their conversation. So I went back to the very entrance where the security was and asked for directions. And he was so kind. He walked me to the leather appointment desk, which is where the foyer was, where the horse statue was. Lo and behold, the appointment lady was the one I approached earlier upstairs. I felt so embarrassed as I really didn't want to trouble her again, but she was actually the right person to talk to. She looked quite flustered and stressed out, but honestly, who wouldn't be if customers are asking you about Kelly's and Birkin's left, right, center? I showed her my appointment, and she led us to the back of the store where the saddle making counter was. It was such a relief being away from all that stress and hustle in the main foyer. Well, the back of the store was peaceful with one craftsman making or repairing the saddles. I wandered around the equestrian department and admired the very large stained glass and pet collection in that corner. Apparently, Hermes also has something for your dogs. Anyhow, the feeling was too surreal as I was actually at my own Hermes Lottery appointment. I was crossing my fingers and hoping I would get a nice sales assistant who I could connect with and who probably can give me a quota back. Well, shortly after, the lady who was then in charge brought over a very bright-eyed and cheery SA and introduced her to us. Our leather SA then took over and led us upstairs. I could recognize that my SA had the dual cosmic scarf, which I love so much and managed to purchase on my first day. I complimented her scarf just to break the ice and casually mentioned that I too bought it just a few days ago. Now, this part of the store is on the second floor, right above the entrance. As it was my first time in this corner of the store, I was equally as captivated by more window display of bags. Now, this area felt a bit more transactional with lounge chairs and office desks, and I could tell the rest of the customers there were also on their leather appointment. Our lovely SA offered us refreshments to start with. At this stage, I was a bunch of nerves at the moment, as the moment we've been waiting for has finally arrived. From our sitting area, we were offered the low lounge chairs with a small coffee table. I could see Cartier on the other side, exactly where we were chilling a few hours ago. Now, our SA finally returned with the refreshments and commented, "I see this is not your first time," while gesturing to my uakua bag. I casually replied her yes and told her about the uakua and even mentioned that it was in the Ardennes leather, which is now discontinued. And then she asked, "So, what can I get for you?" Well, I told her that I have larger size bags in my collection and was hoping to get smaller ones like the Birkin 25 or a Kelly 25. And then she asked, "Okay, so what about colors?" I figured since I was on my leather appointment, which may be a once in a lifetime thing, I really should tell her my honest wish list. So I said I was hoping for a cray or nata. She hesitated and said she may have a light blue at the back while looking at her phone inventory. For a moment, I had this blue broom color stuck in my head throughout the whole conversation, and somehow I wasn't prepared for another blue bag in my collection. I then told her that I have a few blues in my collection and also asked if she had other colors like ethane or even gold. This time round, she was quite certain there was definitely no gold and was quite upfront with it. I then asked about grey pearl, which I have fancied for a while, but then quickly I also said anything light, like a light grey. She also mentioned that if she couldn't find a Kelly or Birkin for me, are there any other bags I would be interested in? I told her about the Constance 18 and she took note of that. And next, she asked me about hardware. For the longest time, I've always liked gold, but for a moment I froze as I was still imagining that light blue image in my head, and my inner brain was agreeing that silver would work nice on a baby blue. Somehow, I stumbled on this question as I never really thought that much into a bag. I replied her that I was okay with either as I did not want to narrow down my choices to literally nothing, so at least she could bring me a bag I could at least be in love with. This time round, my husband woke me up from my daydreaming and said, "Are you sure? I thought you liked gold." Okay, so I corrected my answer, and since she wanted to know my wish list, I confirmed that gold was really my preference. The SA then asked me about leathers, and as I am such a big fan of all sorts of Hermes leathers, I told her that I was fine with anything, and off she went. Well, that conversation kept replaying in my head after she was long gone, and by now my hopes were really low. I mean, the appointment time getting delayed and me being super picky with colors, and you guys all know that cray is such a hot and popular color. Why in the world would they have a cray bag still sitting at the back at the end of the day? Well, I was still nervous as ever and started wandering around the area. In front of us were a young couple also on their leather appointment, and the SA was showing her an airbag in latte color. I remember it was so gorgeous and the lady was modeling the airbag for quite a while. Not sure if they purchased it, but they were soon gone and the seat was replaced by another lady who came alone. Now I overheard this lady asking for a Kelly or Birkin. I don't think she stated a size or a color, but she literally just wanted a quota bag. I remember the SA prompting her that if she couldn't find one, would she be open to other designs, and she flatly said no. And as if we all heard her wrongly, the SA rephrased her question saying, so if I don't find a Kelly or Birkin at the back, I will come back empty-handed. Are you okay with that? And she said yes. Oh my god, at this moment I was stunned because I would have picked a Constance or even a Picotin in her case. Across the other counters, I did not see any Kellys or Birkins being offered, and I was getting really nervous. I started pacing up and down and staring at the display bags, and shortly after, our SA came back, but she was empty-handed. Well, I know it's a cliffhanger, but I will continue my story in the next video. So do remember to subscribe and click that bell, and I will see you very shortly. Well, do you think I got offered a bag? And what bag? Well, stay tuned to find out. Take care, Queen!